Good morning everyone. I am in central London, as you can see, which can only mean one thing. I am here to do Sew the Trends. So anyone new to us, this is where I go scour the high street, check out all the trends, go home, search patterns so that you guys can sew your dream wardrobe. Right, whew, got out of breath saying that. I'm going to Topshop first, then I'm going to go and look at all the other places, and I will take you along with me and report back. So I'm in Topshop, which is probably the youngest place I'm going to look for the high street stuff. Lots of shearling, lots of sort of ditzy prints, loads of knitwear. Lots of sort of plain colours as well. I think that's the main thing I'm seeing so far. Not a huge amount of prints. Yeah, got some patterns already in my mind. The sun is shining at last. It's been so grizzly this morning. So right, where have I been? I have done Warehouse, which I'm just by here, and other stories, Zara, Mango, H&M. I feel like I've got quite a good feeling. I've got Oasis over there. I'm going to go and have a look in Liberty as well, because I think it's good to look at the really expensive stuff. I think I've got a good idea. Lots of long kind of swishy dresses, lots of denim jackets, or along those sort of padded denim jackets. Really lovely knitwear. That's what we need to get ourselves. Lots of nice knitwear and lots of sort of midi skirts, kind of pleated midi skirts as well. So my pattern brain is whirring. I think I've got some ideas. I'm also now going to go, which I don't usually do, to Marks and Spencer's, because I think they've got some good stuff in this season and I might find something else in there. So I'll take you with me. So I'm in M&S. Oh, the lighting in here. Sorry, excuse the shiny forehead. I think they do really good colours in here. I always find that you get a really good sense of the full high street with their colours. So lots of camel colours, really sort of different shades of camels as well, like a really rusty brown as well as a proper traditional camel. Lots of jewelly blue tones as well. And yeah, I think the idea of layering colours together, block colours that are in a similar shade, so a kind of really rusty brown with over a camel, looks really nice together. So I've got some ideas of shapes as well, lots of really nice long cardigans. Yeah, also, if anyone's in the market for a bit of cashmere, I've got really good cashmere here, not too expensive either. So I think that's everything now. I'm going to go home and percolate and think about all the sort of go and do my research now. So watch this space. Hi everyone. So I'm back from town. I have done all my research and I have got some lovely things to talk to you about. Before we get started on the patterns, I thought I should talk to you a little bit about fabrics, because I feel like that's a really important part of the process. And there were some cool things that I picked up which I think I should pass over to you guys. So fabrications, there were a lot of, which was similar to last year, a lot of rust colours. Again, camels and rusts. The thing that was really interesting in terms of the merchandising within the shops is that they put all of those colours together. So there would be a brown kind of rusty colour coat, then with a camel jumper underneath, and then maybe a skirt or a pair of trousers in a slightly different colourway. Those kind of blocking colours, but within a colour palette was I saw a lot and actually looked really lovely. The other thing that I saw in terms of prints, I think there weren't a huge amount of print. It was a lot of plain fabrics this season, so plain colours seem to be really in. I'm sorry guys, the sun is blazing in, so if it's a bit garish and my face goes funny, that is why. Yeah, so a lot of with print, not a huge amount around. The core trends within the print, I would say that there were quite a lot of small scale ditzy florals on a black background, and that seemed to fall just within the dress department and blouse department. There were quite a few paisleys around as well, quite sort of, again, dark but very small scale paisley, but really it was all about the kind of plain block colours. The other thing, the other print that was sort of around a little bit more was checks, so plaids or checks. Within outerwear it was big large scale prints, and then within trousers or jackets it was much smaller scale. So yeah, I think colour wise, lots of rusts, dark jewelly colours were really big, kind of deep kind of forest greens, deep blues, mustards, but yeah, very much picking a colour palette and mixing within that colour palette. So a navy jacket with a jewelly bright kind of teal top underneath, and then your bottom half would be another variant of a kind of deep blue. So yeah, I think that kind of covers fabrication. In terms of what they actually are, lots of corduroys, really deep, kind of big chunky cords, lots of natural fibres, kind of denims, which are cottons and denims, which are obviously around each season, and what else? Oh, sort of shearling and fleece. So kind of fake shearling that is a fleece within jackets. There's a lot of that about, and kind of fluffy stuff. There was quite a lot of fluffy stuff in outerwear. Right, so I've got quite a few things to talk to you about. This is going to be quite a long video, so if you do not have a cup of tea or whatever you feel like to drink, now is the moment to go and get it, because you're going to be here for a while. I'm going to start with outerwear. I've got two variations for you. Sorry, got my drink, and what I will do is I will put a picture of what I've seen on the high street up, and then I will talk you through a couple of patterns. So first things first, outerwear, tailored coat. You can see here from the picture that I've got two options. One is a very classic sort of camel-y coat, much more classic tailoring, quite kind of constructed. The other version is a much more relaxed fit, unlined, and that you would kind of almost use definitely as a coat, but almost like a layering piece. It could actually be almost like a kind of coatigan. There were a lot of that sort of vibe around. I've got two really great coats for you. So the first one is the Marty or Mart coat from Melly. This comes in sizes 6 to 24. It's available on the online shop. I popped this one in because I like the length of this. It's a bit shorter. It's quite boxy in feel. It's unlined. It's got kind of features of the pattern. It's got inseam pockets at the side seam. It's got 3 buttons down the front. It's a it looks to me like it's not a, let's have a look. Yeah, I think the collar is a fairly simple construction from the pictures. It looks like it doesn't have a stand to the collar, which is much easier for you guys. And as I said, it's unlined. So if you look for something like a boiled wool for this, it would be perfect. Or some sort of, there are a lot of sort of fleecy type fabrics. Something like that would be perfect for this. The second one that I have chosen is the Hot Toddy coat from Our Lady of Leisure. This comes in sizes 6 to 18. It's available on the online shop. I popped this one in because I thought this was really fantastic if this is your first experiment into outerwear. It is quite simple construction. It's another unlined coat. It's got patch pockets. It's got, it has no fastenings on it, so you sort of wear it open, which is great. Another thing that you could do, like a little tweak to this, would be to make a waist tie if you wanted, which you could just tie around. I did see quite a few coats that had ties on the waist. The sleeve is 2-piece, which is great, which means you get a really nice fit on it. Seam down the centre back. It's nice, this I really liked it because it's definitely got some kind of core tailoring kind of bits in it, but quite simple construction. Again, a boiled wool would be perfect for this. You could do whatever you wanted. You could even make this in a ponte, actually. It would look really nice. So more of a kind of like coatigan feel to it. Right, so the next thing I'm going to talk to you about are jackets. There were two main feels within the jacket market you can see from this picture. The kind of cream one that you can see is from Zara. This was really popular, this sort of shape, really classic shape, patch pockets, 3 buttons up the front, quite a big, nice big kind of collar, and kind of, yeah, boxy sort of shape. The other one that I saw a lot of was like a classic denim jacket. There were lots of them in denim as well as what you can see here, but this one from Topshop was made in a chunky cord, and it had a shearling, fake shearling lining. So I've got 2 fantastical patterns to talk to you about. The first one is the Stacker jacket from Paper Cut Patterns. This comes in sizes 4 to 20. It's available on the online shop. This is part of their new collection, which they just released a couple of weeks ago, and I blooming love this. I think this was my favourite of the collection, and lots of people were raving about it as well, and it's bang on trend, so it's a double win. So, key features of this pattern, very similar to the one that I showed you. It's a little bit more cropped than the 2 that I showed you, but you could lengthen it if you wanted. But I actually really like this sort of cropped look. I think it's quite flattering on kind of more body shapes. It's got 2 variations, and these are kind of just pocket variations actually. So you can either have 2 patch pockets on the front, or you can have they sit sort of slightly higher up the pockets, and they've got kind of flaps on them. So yeah, these, I mean, pretty close to what I saw. It also has a 2-piece sleeve as well, so that is fantastic. Sorry, I'm very thirsty today. I think it's being in central London and coming back. I feel like I need lots of water. Yeah, in terms of fabric for this, you can make this in a really chunky cord, would look amazing. Fleecy fabrics. I actually think if you made this in a really beautiful quality wool, I think this would look amazing. Yeah, just really fantastic. So I would definitely, yeah, I'm gonna try and make this actually this winter for sure. The other one that I've got is the Atinist Jacket from Itch to Stitch. This comes in sizes 8 to 22. It's available on the online shop. There are definitely other indie pattern designers that have done denim jackets out there, but I wanted to include this one because it's quite new, and also I really like Itch to Stitch sewing patterns. So this has, you can see from the line drawing, got loads of the features, well, all the features that you'd want and expect from a denim jacket. I really like these, the little pockets as well, which on the side, I think they are welt pockets from looking at the line drawing. Definitely a more involved make. It's going to be lots of different pattern pieces, but when you're working with a more structured fabric, actually these sort of makes don't take as long or are as difficult as you think. You just kind of take them slowly, and yeah. But I thought this was really lovely. If you made this similar to the picture that I showed you, the Topshop one, chunky cord on the outside, or a wool and then a shearling on the inside. If you wanted it a little bit more oversized, which I did see quite a bit of, you could make it in a size bigger and that would work really well. So yeah, I thought this was a good option on the coat front. Next up we've got dresses. You can see here I've got 3 sort of dresses, all quite similar in feel. this was definitely this sort of midi to long length dress. This was everywhere. Sleeves, some kind of flared sleeves, some sleeves with kind of a fluted kind of ruffle on them. But this was definitely the sort of takeaway, and you can see from this they're quite androgynous. They're less girly than I think the summer versions, which were quite similar, and we've kind of moved on now. So yeah, androgynous, ruffles. So I've got two fantastic patterns to talk to you about. The first one, which I don't think you'll be surprised by, is the Ptosis, which I'm sure I've said incorrectly, from Deer and Doe. This comes in sizes 6 to 16. It's available on the online shop. I'm going to say also, I would say about this pattern, I've made it and I've made the size 12, and I definitely probably could have sized down. So if you are a 18 and you're thinking you wanted to make it, I definitely think you could make the 16 and it would fit. Features of this pattern are, I mean, it's very similar actually to one of the dresses that I showed you. It's got bust darts, it's got waist darts, it's got two variants, so you can either have it kind of without the kind of ruffle on the sleeve or the ruffle on the skirt. So tweaks that I would make if you wanted to make it more similar to the dress that I showed you. What I did with this pattern is that I cut out the skirt of version B and then added the ruffle onto the bottom, so it made it that bit longer. And I think if I was making it again, I might even make the skirt panel a bit longer, and that would make it that sort of midi length which we saw a lot of. Yeah, I thought this was pretty close, and it's a really fantastic pattern. I really rate it, so if you haven't done it and you're thinking about it, yeah, comes highly recommended from me. The other dress I've got is from Fibre Mood. So in case you haven't seen this, this is a pattern magazine which we have just started selling. Each magazine comes with about 20 patterns in it, and there are some knitting patterns in there. We've got 3 editions, so we've got the last 3 editions, and this dress that I'm about to show you, which is called the Mira Dress, this is from edition 4. Obviously, I should have said this right at the beginning, anything I talk about I'm going to pop links down below, so don't worry about it if you can't remember everything, it'll be down there. So yeah, the Mira Dress, very similar to a lot of things that we saw on the high street. It's high-necked, it's got ruffles, tiers of ruffles. Anyone who's thinking about it and wants to see it on some other people, have a look for the Mira Dress hashtag on Instagram. It's really good. I tell you, Emily from Self Assembly Required has just made the most beautiful one, which has inspired me to make it, and I think she added an extra tier of ruffles to hers. But yeah, this is quite a good base shape, and you can definitely build onto whatever you want with this one. So I thought that was a really good, slightly less full-on one than the Ptosis. I think it's lovely, and I like the sort of high neck version of this. Right, that's dresses done. Next up, jumpsuits. Who doesn't love a jumpsuit? These have definitely moved on from the summer where they were more relaxed fit. Definitely feel a lot more structured for winter. The fabrication is definitely more structured. The images that I'm showing you, one is of denim and one is of corduroy. Yeah, the summer ones were definitely more floaty, and this is definitely, yeah, much more structured, as I've just said. So I've got 2 great patterns for this. The first one is the Gimlet Boiler Suit PDF from Our Lady of Leisure. This comes in sizes 6 to 18. I thought this was almost spot on. Actually, I was really chuffed when I found it. It's got the waist tie, it's got pockets. So the core features of the pattern are, it looks to me like it's a slightly tapered leg. It's got gathering below the bust and on the waist. It's got fake sort of pockets, which are really lovely detail on the chest, button up the front, quite an evolved make for this one. I would say you definitely would want to do a toile to make sure that you've kind of, you know, got it nailed. But I thought this was really close to everything that I'd seen. Beautiful in a denim. If you wanted something less structured than I've shown you, you could do a denim chambray, which would look very, kind of look like a lot of the denim things that I'd seen, but it's a bit softer to wear. Yeah, I just think this is pretty close. The other one that I thought would work really well is the Sloane Overalls and pants from Victory Patterns. This comes in sizes 6 to 20. It's available on the online shop. I included this. I know this version that I'm showing you doesn't have sleeves like the two that you saw, but I really like the styling that they've done. They've put a shirt underneath it, and I think actually it definitely has a feel of stuff that I saw on the high street, particularly the zip down the front. There are a lot of boiler suits that had a kind of quite big statement zip down the front, which this one does. So this is actually a trouser and a jumpsuit, so if you're feeling like you like the shape of the trousers, they're definitely worth giving it a go. So they've got these quite big statement patch pockets. There are seams, which is for me, as you know, interesting shape wise. They've got seam down the centre, front and back of the trousers, which is really good if you're trying to fit on yourself. If you're a slightly trickier shape, this will make your life a lot easier. Patch pockets on the front and the back, really nice shaped. I really like the shaping on the straps of these. I think they're really nice. If you haven't made anything from Victory Patterns before, she kind of nails the detail in patterns. I think she's really clever the way she pattern cuts, and I think she creates something really interesting every time she releases something. I'm always quite excited to see what it's going to be, so yeah, definitely worth checking out. So next up we have got it's more of a I guess you can see from these images, it's definitely more of a neckline, I guess, on a top. There were lots and lots of high-necked and ruffles going into the neckline, and I've got two patterns that I thought would work really nicely, but there were a lot of tops like this everywhere, and I thought actually they'd be really nice to make for winter. So I've got two patterns. The first one is the Wilder gown and from Friday Pattern Company. This comes with a variant to make it as a top, so I will show you the top. Well, you can see from the line drawings, very similar to the two images that I showed you. It's got this amazing kind of ruffled neckline with a tie. If you wanted to, it's also very on trend for the dress, so if you bought this pattern you could make the dress and the top and you'd be bang on trend, because it's got the tiers of ruffles, as you guys can see. But the top version is really simple to construct as well. It's got raglan sleeves, which are lovely and simple to insert, and yeah, you'd have it done in no time. I haven't told you what size this comes in. So this comes in sizes, I just saw it, UK 6 to 28, so it's a really good size range. And the dress is lovely. Rachel has made it, and I'm definitely going to make it this winter. Definitely would recommend it. The other variant I've got, which I thought would work really nicely, is the Egret tank and dress from the Sewing Revival. This comes in sizes UK 10 to 24. This is really, I thought was really nice. I'll show you the dress version. It's got a elasticated neckline, so it's got gathering into the neckline. I think I shared it in a recent video actually, but I thought this was very on trend for winter. The other thing I thought, now I'm just looking at it, the dress version of it, if you just extended the dress and added a ruffle onto the bottom, that would make it very, very much on trend for winter. So you could definitely have, again, similar to the Wilder gown, have the top version and a dress version, and you're just buying one pattern and you've got lots of different options for winter. So next up we have got skirts. And I've got three skirts that I'm going to show you. They're three different styles, but those were core shapes that I saw everywhere on the high street. So the first one is the white one from Zara. This kind of a pencil skirt with a tie detail at the side. I saw this in literally every shop I went into. The first place I saw it was in Zara, and I was like, oh, that's really lovely detail. And then I went into Topshop and saw it there, Warehouse. So it's definitely everywhere, that sort of side tie skirt, quite straight. The next one in the middle is from Oasis, this sort of pleated, quite simple kind of skirt. There were lots and lots of sort of long, not all pleated, but sort of that long midi, actually slightly longer than the picture here, actually, kind of long, simple shaped skirts. So yeah, loads of those everywhere. And then the other one is the mango skirt, which is a very nice structured button-up skirt made out of something like a denim or a corduroy. I saw these everywhere. There were also skirts like this that were slightly longer as well, so you could make it down to just above the knee, and those were definitely everywhere too. So I've got 3 skirt patterns to talk to you about. The first, so the sort of, let's start with, yes, I'm going to start with the first one that I spoke to you about, the sort of wrap dress, the wrap skirt. So the pattern I've got is the Tiara wrap skirt from Named. This comes in sizes 8 to 18. It's available on the online shop, and I thought this was almost perfect. I was really, really pleased actually with this. Got a tie on the side, it's made with jersey, it's got darts at the front and the back, it's a wrap feel as well. I thought this was just, yeah, pretty close to what I saw, and I really like the sort of tie detail on it, and if you haven't used a Named pattern before, they are fantastic, so I would highly, highly recommend. Next up we have got, for the sort of midi relaxed fit skirt, I saw the Donovan skirt from Helens Closet, which comes in sizes 6 to 30. I included this because actually it's a really simple construction and you could whip this up in a couple of hours. So the skirt comes in 2 different lengths. It's the longer version that I was probably more interested in, closer to what I saw on the high street. It's got slits up the side, it's just an elasticated or tie waist, which means fitting is really simple, and this would be a lovely project if you're quite new to sewing. In terms of fabrication for this, like maybe some sort of a ditzy floral drapey viscose would be perfect. It would look really nice and it would drape nicely on you too. Very simple, you can make this, yeah, as I said, quite quickly, and I think this would be a skirt that you get a lot of wear out. You could definitely wear them for summer as well as winter. So, yep, that is that. The last skirt is the more structured button-down front one. So the pattern that I've got is the denim button-up skirt from Anna Allen. This comes in sizes 6 to 16. It's available on the online shop. Actually it can't be, I think it's 6 to 18. Yeah, 6 to 18. If you haven't seen her patterns, she does really good bottoms, kind of bottoms, that's not the right word, but she's got really lovely trousers, and this skirt I thought was really lovely. Very simple construction, button down front, patch pockets. It's got a dart on the front and back, which is really nice, so you'll get really nice kind of shaping. And again, like I said, you can make this different lengths to suit you, so it's quite a versatile piece. And let's be honest, this is such a classic shape, you can wear this again and again. So yeah, those are skirts I think covered. And last but not least, trousers. So let me talk to you about trousers. You can see here from these images, they are quite, I've kind of picked 3 kind of core shapes. So the Zara one is a more loose fitting pleat fronted trouser, feels quite tailored. The middle one is a very classic from Mango, very classic sort of shape with a fly front, slightly cropped. I thought these were really, you know, you can, they're such a classic shape that if you invest the time making this, you're definitely going to get something out of this. And the last one is a more relaxed fit with quite big statement pockets. You can just about see them on the picture, really big kind of pockets that kind of go from the front of the trouser to the back. Again, big chunky cords you're looking to make this in. So I've got 3 trousers to talk you through. So the first one, we're going to talk about the big chunky pocket trouser, technical phrase for it. So I have picked the Pietra pants and shorts from Closet Case Patterns. This comes in sizes, I'm struggling to, sizes 0 to 20. These have 3, sorry, I forgot what I was about to say. I'm back now. So there are 3 variations of this. It comes in a short, a wide leg version and a sort of peg leg version. I think the peg leg version, so version B, was closest to the high street version. It's got that big statement pocket at the front, which kind of goes right round to the side seam. Very similar to the Topshop version, so I thought that worked really well. This is actually really great in terms of fit because it's got an elasticated back, which just makes fit so much easier. I've seen these everywhere on Instagram and loads of people make them and they look fantastic on everyone. The wide leg version would also be quite on trend for this, for winter, so if you bought one pattern you could make 2 different types and they'd look quite different. So yeah, that's a sort of big pocketed version. The sort of classic trouser, I've picked the Hollywood trouser from Liesl & Co. This comes in sizes 0 to 20. This is a very standard fly front, really nice shaped trouser, really classic shape. I mean, if you invest the time in getting this to fit properly, you're gonna, you know, wear it forever. And Liesl & Co., their fit are really good and their instructions are great, so I would highly recommend these, and I think they're a really sort of classic shape. Last but definitely not least, we have got the sort of wider leg trouser. The pattern that I picked for this is the Portobello Trousers from Nina Lee. This comes in sizes 6 to 20, it's available on the online shop. I love this pattern, I think it's a real, again, similar to the last one, real classic shape. So the pattern has got the 3 pleats at the front, which was very similar to the trousers that I showed you from Zara. It's got a couple of darts on the back as well for shaping. It's got inseam pockets, which is lovely because who doesn't love a pocket, and they're wide legged. So in terms of fitting for a trouser, this is going to be really easy for you. It's kind of as easy as it gets. The other lovely thing is that it doesn't have a proper fly, so it looks from the line drawing that it's got a zip at the back. Yeah, it probably is. Either zip at the centre back or zip on the side seam. Probably is the centre back with the pockets. Yeah, probably the centre back. And yeah, I think you could make this they'd be quite quick to make. A lovely variation that I've seen that Nina has done is that she's cropped them, so they're kind of like culottes as well, which were I saw quite a bit of that on the high street too, so definitely worth sort of checking out. Yeah, so I think that is everything. I felt like I was whizzing through. I hope I wasn't too fast and you got everything that you wanted out of it. Yeah, I think there's going to be some really, I think there's some lovely things in here that you can kind of pair together. For example, the Portobello trousers would look really amazing with the Wilder gown top tucked in. That would look lovely. And then you could put the hot toddy coat over the top and that would be a really nice outfit. I think I've tried to pick stuff that I think will sort of work together, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. So that was Sew the Trends for winter. It's going to be a busy season for us making, and yes, I will be back soon with another video. Bye!